There's an album that we kind of didn't touch on. Apparently nobody did. I'm talking about Lizzo's album.
Okay.
All right.
Big Lizzo, almost friend of the show.
Yeah. Not so big Lizzo now, and I think that might be part of the
Lizzo
problem.
looks great.
Yeah, she looks amazing. Nothing wrong with being big. But on 2 weeks ago, she put out an album. I mean, this is one of the biggest pop stars in the world, certainly in the U.S. At one point.
Yeah.
Album first week,
2,600 or something.
2,650 sales. Second week dropped to 600. That's low for anybody. And I've been sitting here trying to figure out the why of it. First, let me just say the album itself isn't her best work to me. In fact, I would say it's her worst album.
I skimmed through it. It wasn't very good.
I haven't heard it.
I didn't hear it.
It's trying to be too many things. It started off as one project and became this album. It's trying to do too many things. It's experimental in a lot of ways. There's some punk on there. There's some pop on there. There's some R&B, but like 70s stuff. It goes in a lot of directions, and I don't think it does any of the things well enough to be that thing. And it's spread too thin. So I think it's not a good album. But even with a bad album, you should be able to sell more than 3,000 if you Lizzo over 2 weeks. To me, it's just crazy. So part of what I was trying to figure out with y'all is the why of it.
Well, who knew this album was coming out?
Which is her complaint. She's saying the label didn't push it. There's no promotion for it. Nobody knew this thing was coming.
What's the single? Like Lizzo is a
radio.
Yeah, a radio darling.
Yeah.
Like what? It's clear there's a disconnect here,
right,
between her and the label. Either the label is like, we're no longer invested in you, or we think whatever we think, but we're not on the same page. Because it's clear that they didn't put no money into this. Because you would have heard something. You would have seen her somewhere other than the verses.
Yeah. I didn't see her anywhere. I mean, her thing is streaming has taken over radio. And so, when my career first started, I was known for radio hits. And now the radio doesn't matter anymore. And that's why no one's checking for me. I think that's like 25% true.
It's above her. I accept that answer from her, and that may even be what she thinks. It's above her. It's above that. That may be, she may believe that, but it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's entirely true either. Radio still matters.
Yeah, of course radio matters. And
Well,
they didn't feed the radio.
Lizzo didn't come out in 08.
That too.
Streaming was here
when she was out.
When you were here and dominated.
Well established.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, my experience be different. So I know what it looks like when something is label pushed and something is not label pushed. Fans have a hard time making that distinction. I don't put any of this on Lizzo. I don't put any of this on Lizzo.
I do.
Even if it was a bad album, it's not Lizzo's fault that only 2,600 people went out. This says, y'all don't hear more and more artists coming up here, even the huge artists, saying, no, I paid for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I did this. No, I put this out.
Yeah.
No, it's me. It's me. It's back to curation. The artists that are able to curate on their own or with a small group of people are going to succeed and have the backing. Like T.I. came up here, Killer Mike came up here, and I spent my own money, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That was part of the problem back in the day. A new artist didn't have the money, and there were gatekeepers, so you couldn't get on the radio, you couldn't get on MTV, you couldn't. There was a gatekeeper everywhere, so you kind of needed them. Today, if you can kind of curate on your own, then that's what you got to get into. And we didn't meet Lizzo that way. We met Lizzo as a label baby and a label darling, and she reaped the benefits of that, which is prime time at the award shows. This is some awards, right? Like Lizzo has like 4 or 5 Grammys or something like that.
Crazy, yeah.
Performances where they need to be, commercials where they need to be, partnerships where they need to be. And some of this, I'm sure, comes from some of the press. And I wanted to talk to her about this whenever she comes. She is still supposed to come.
Okay.
Some of that comes from the press about that London strip club shit. Like, there were a few things. And
That's the part I blame
Then
her
there
for.
were some comments she made. People felt like she was alienating bigger people. Like, this is a culmination of things, but all of it still is the label's fault.
I would like to know how many albums she owed the label. Because a lot of times, once you get to the end of that, and you're not showing that you want to go your own way now,
and
they sing.
All right, cool. Go out there and
that's
not
interesting because she's at album number 5, so that could be very much
exactly. So it's like, all right, cool. Go out there. We not putting nothing into it. Whatever you do is what you do, and then you walk, and now your stock ain't the same, and you're gonna get a real awakening out there.
Yeah, if your stock is left up to them. That's always the scary part about being signed somewhere and just your likeness, because your fate is left up to somebody else. Another reason I'm a huge fan of Lizzo trying to come up here is because to me that signified that, oh, that ain't the label. Whatever powerful people were back there, those are the people telling the pop stars that these are the types of platforms that you need to stay away from and not visit. I enjoyed seeing Lizzo on the Verses last night because that looked like something that Lizzo got out of bed and wanted to do. It wasn't the label saying, it wasn't for the look, it wasn't that whole Laker game with the bra, it wasn't manufactured. It looks to be
wanted to do that.
natural and organic. So when artists come to that fork in the road where you have to have that uncomfortable look in the mirror, yeah, sometimes you got to take a step back to take steps forward. Like, don't look at that like a loss. Take your own shit into your own hands. Find you a team of people that get the vision or understand it and baby step your way back to success. But you don't need the label and you don't need those types of executives holding that over your head or being so in control of whether you popping or whether you not popping.
You know, Joe,
that's all I got.
And I agree with everything you just said. And Lizzo was so incredibly talented. She's phenomenally talented. I'm actually a fan, and I like her music. I didn't like this album, but I like her music. But everybody should be able to survive a bad album. And if you have a core fan base that fucks with you, you should still be able to have a respectable showing even with a bad album. So I think the label, everything you said about the label is true. I also wonder about who her core fan base is, and if it was ever exactly what we thought it was.
How would she know?
Well, so that's what I'm thinking.
The label has always had control over that,
right? And part of it is if you're building your base off of radio hits. There's a theory that it wasn't a core fan base as much as people who were just loving these particular radio hits.
Got it. Okay.
Then there's the crew. Then there's the fact that she kind of came in with the kind of, I don't want to put it,
arrogance.
No. I mean, I'm not even assessing her. I'm just thinking about. She had a social justice. She was the person who it was cool to like.
Okay.
I like the big girl.
Okay.
I like all these things. Her getting smaller, unfortunately, probably didn't help her with some of that base. There are people who saw her as, she was a social justice crew's like poster girl. These lawsuits and the allegations don't help that crew. Yeah. So I'm just saying there's a lot of moving parts, and I'm not blaming her for either of those things necessarily. I don't know enough about the lawsuits to have an opinion on it. And if you want to lose weight, you should, right? If that's what you want to do. But I'm just saying part of it is I think all that label shit is true, but I also think she may have lost her actual base over the last few years.
Offended them at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other part is, like you said, if you come in as a label darling, radio darling, etc., what is your base? That ain't your base.
That's exactly.
That base could have been manufactured from the gate.
Exactly.
And now you're starting to realize because you don't have the support.
Like you keep talking about the radio hits and radio. I'll be honest with you. I don't know one Lizzo radio song.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, you do.
If I hear it.
Yeah.
If I hear it. But right now, I couldn't name one and I don't know what it sounds like. But Lizzo was a mascot for so many different messages.
Yes.
Yeah, but we don't know if that's naturally how Lizzo ever felt about nothing. And that's the thing. It's back to take a step backward, 2 steps forward. To y'all's point that we all saying, I don't think she know her real fan base, nor do I think she was ever given a chance to cultivate it organically, because that's all the label. We got a big girl. All the labels see is how do we make a big girl pop? Right.
Give her body
positivity.
There you go.
Right.
Body positivity.
There you go.
Right there.
Body positivity. Who's in office? Biden. All right, we supporting trans. We support, and she could. I'm just saying these are all messages that were not only strong but really easy to get behind. So we'll see. Take your fate into your own hands. Take it back to the music. Do what's in your heart. You won't go wrong either way.
New Joe Budden.